Hello everyone. So here we want to look at how to build a large propeller. I'm going to show you many of the essential tools here for SolidWorks. So we're going to be making something like that. So let me close this guy and let's start a new one. So Control N, choose a part. I also have a picture of that in case we want to reference that. So to start off with, I'm just going to do the center circle here. We'll start a sketch, choose a plane. I'm going to do the top plane. Now, generally, our lives are going to be easier if we start these on the origin. So I'm going to choose the origin here. Let's choose some dimension. For this propeller, let's say I want this to be 12 inches. 12 inches set there. Now I'm going to, like all of this, build something flat and then give it depth by extruding it. So I chose extrude up here. And let's say I want this to be 4 inches tall. Change it to 4, enter. There's my main circle. Now I want to get one of these blades on here. So I'm going to start another sketch. I'm going to do this blade. Actually, I'm going to do this blade kind of right here. So I'm going to start another sketch. That's going to ask me, well, where do I want to put that sketch? If you do this little drop down up here, I can choose which plane. Let's see. I think I want it on this plane is where I'm going to do that. Now that view is kind of tough the way it's given me. So I clicked up here to the view, click in here. Now I have that view. Let me draw. Let's choose, I don't know, maybe down something right on here. There. I don't want this to be quite parallel. If I lock it in right here, they will lock in parallel. Often the computer tries to help you out. To have the chance to show you some other things, I'm going to intentionally have that not be parallel right now. All right, so here we have this blade. Let's set some dimensions on here. Let's say I want this piece for sure to be at least 1 inch tall. So that's 1 inch. Now another really important tool here, you can set angle constraints. So let me choose this one and this one. So there I chose those two. Now let's say I want that angle, I don't know, let's say 150 degrees. So there you see it extended that piece for me. Let's also do a dimension here. 906, that looks pretty good. I'm going to set it right at 9 or just using the dimension tool. Let's see what dimension this is. 8. Let's just leave it at 8. That looks pretty good. Just to see what this is, we don't have to necessarily do it, but another angle here. Let's see what this angle is between those guys. Smart dimension, there and there. Saying about 31. Saying that's already driven. That's fine, I don't mind that. Okay, now let's turn this actually into a blade. So I'm going to go up here, features, extrude. Let's extrude this thing. Right now, it looks like it's going the right way. Let's make this pretty darn big. Now, remember, SolidWorks will do our math for us. So if I want this to be 5 feet, I can just type in 5 times 12, enter. And there we have our big blade. I like that, so let's move forward. Okay, so there we have the start. There's a couple things we can add to this to make it even better. Let's start off with some fillets to clean up these rough edges over here. So our fillet tool, features, fillet, there's a couple different ones. Chamfer is that sharp angle, fillet are these rounded angles. I'm going to choose, let's see, I probably want the back to be rounded here, maybe there, and there. I want those couple to be rounded by some angle. Now over here you can set how much. Maybe I want those to be a 1/4 inch. I'm going to set 0.25. All those look to be a 1/4 inch. Fantastic. I'm going to let that be. So now you see those are kind of rounded edges right there. Okay, I'm liking how that's looking. Next, let's say, well, now we obviously need multiple blades here, so now I'm going to use the circular pattern tool. Up here in linear pattern, I do this drop down, we have this circle pattern. So circle pattern, first over here asks what direction do you want. So I'm going to click the circle that we're going to go around. Here it's asked for 4. 4 sounds good, but the degrees are off. Let's change that to, you could do 360 over 4 if you don't know it, or of course 90 degrees. Oops, I mishit something. Alright, so we have our blades there. It looks like I didn't select the entire thing correctly. So over here, as far as our features, we can go back in our drop down here, and if you just click this right here, it grabs the entire thing. So there we have our whole feature, we have our fillets, hit OK, there we have that feature. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now let's say I want this to be cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to see if I can fillet this part right here. So let me go fillet again. Let me just choose this circle region right here. And perhaps, yeah, that filler looks fine. Let's see if it'll accept that. I was wondering if it wouldn't. Because of this intersection right here, it's not liking that. And that's fine. I'm just going to keep moving with the build and show you guys some other stuff. Let's look at the shell option here. Let's say I want to shell this so that we can put something inside of there. So I can use this shell up here. Click shell, click this, and let's see how thick do we want that. Maybe 0.5 of a shell is what we want. Enter. Didn't like that value. Let me, oh, it did. Okay, so there's shelling. So shelling left that thickness for that in there. Now, well, for our propeller, we're probably going to want some bolts on the inside of this. So let me put a couple holes here for a couple of these bolts to go into. So for that, let's start a sketch here. Sketch here. I like having a head-on view, so I'm going to change, click here, click this. Now I have a head-on view. So let me set a little circle up here. Notice it kind of auto-fills in. It shows me that I'm at the center there. So there we have that hole. Let's say I want this, my bolts, to have a diameter of 1 inch. And let's say I want these to be, what distance? Let's say 3 inches from the center there. Okay, that looks great. Now I'm ready to cut that. So I'm going to go Features, Extrude Cut. Now sometimes you know the distance you want here. I'm actually just going to go over here and hit Select or through all both. Now it's going to cut everything in both directions. Hit OK. Now I have that bolt hole. Well, I actually want 3 more of those. So let me go over here to the patterns. I'm going to go Circle Pattern. Direction, let's choose the circle. You kind of guessed correctly, but now we want to change this again to 90 degrees. Enter. Great, that looks good. Confirm. All right, so here's the start of our propeller. That'll be okay for now. Let me show you how to change the material on it. So to change the material, we're going to go over here on our part. We're going to right click here, select material. Edit material. Let's say we want some sort of aluminum alloy. So I'm going to go aluminum alloy, and I don't know, maybe this is the one I want. 1350. Apply. You'll see it did change colors slightly back here. Hit close, and now we have that. Let's say now we want to know the mass of this. To get the mass of any part, we go over here, evaluate. You can select mass properties, and here in mass properties it tells me the center of mass, the total mass, the volume. So here we're at 167 pounds. That looks great. Now let's say I actually needed this in metric rather than English. So down here in the little corner, I can change our units to whatever we want. If I click this, I can click usually millimeters grams second, click that, and now if I were to, let's say I needed a part right here, now it's operating in millimeters grams and that.